The less you move around during your work hours, the more intentional you have to be about the things you're doing outside of work to preserve your overall health. What's up, everyone? David here. Got a new video for y'all today. But before we get into it, if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to the channel, hit the bell notification so you don't miss out on any new videos. Because remember, new videos on this channel every Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday. So don't miss out. Now, obviously, hair's looking a little rough, looking a little tired. Just woke up, gotta start getting ready for work. And that's exactly what this video is about. I'm talking for those of you who specifically have a job that requires you to sit all day in a chair. And it doesn't always necessarily have to be an office job, even though the title of the video is office job. I'm talking about anyone who's gonna be stationary for good amounts of times throughout the day. So whether it be some type of office job, truck driver, bus driver, receptionist. Hell, it doesn't even have to be something where you have a job. It could just be if you're a full-time student as well. Literally anything where you're seated all day and getting very minimal exercise, very minimal physical activity throughout the day. That's where we're aimed at. Yes, that job pays the bills, but overall, you're hindering your health because you're not moving enough throughout the rest of the day. You're not getting enough blood flow. You're not working those muscles. You're gonna be stiff. We can't be having that. So what I want to be going over today are going to be what are some of the things that you have to be on the lookout to improve your health. And when I say improving your health, what exactly are we looking at? What are the health markers? What are the health parameters that we're going to be on the lookout for? Number one is obviously going to be some type of exercise. Granted, it should be common sense. If you have an office job and you're going to be sitting around all day, that means you have to be getting some type of blood flow and you got to be burning some type of calories. But on the flip side, it's also about what is it that you're eating. Because let's be completely honest, when it comes to losing weight, gaining weight, whatever your goal may be, it's all about calories in versus calories out. And for many of you, if you have an office job or anything where you're sitting down all day, you're probably already not eating as much as it is. So you might assume, okay, no big deal. I'm not eating much. Calories are pretty low. I shouldn't be gaining weight. No. Despite your calories being low, the amount that you're burning could be even lower. So with that said, you also got to look at the nutrition portion of it overall. Make sure you're moving around enough throughout the day, getting those workouts in, and also make sure you're eating healthy. Make sure you're eating the right types of foods and in the right quantities. Face washed, teeth brushed, hair combed, clothes changed. With all that, let's start heading over to work. And much like sitting in a car, having an office job, you're going to be sitting around all day. Now, I'm not just saying that this is the only job that you're going to be physically inactive as much. No, I've had plenty of jobs in the past where I was moving around a lot more. I had a seasonal job at UPS, essentially that's a warehouse job. You're moving around, carrying packages all day. Very physically active, no big deal. Got a good sweat working there each shift. Then there was another time I was working at a 99-cent store. Same thing, very physically active job because I was the one stocking up all the produce, carrying all the pallets, receiving shipments from trucks, just moving around throughout the day. But now my current job, office job, administrative work, yeah, you're gonna be seated for a long period of time. Now, the more physically inactive the job is, the more it's gonna be on you to make sure you're making up, burning those calories throughout the rest of the day. How you burn those calories out throughout the rest of the day? Well, that's gonna vary from person to person and also on your preferences. Number one thing that I would do, make sure you put in a good workout in the gym at some point throughout the day. I don't care if you're a morning person, I don't care if you're an evening person, just get a workout in at the gym. All right, you're about to work an 8-hour shift where you're sitting down in a chair all day. It's not gonna kill you to go ahead and put in 1 hour moving around of intentional movement. That's the big thing at the gym. I mean, you're sitting around all day. The muscles are gonna be tight. You're rounded forward. You're sitting around. You can't tell me that you don't feel uncomfortable sitting in a chair all day. How many of you, you're in the middle of emails, in the middle of phone calls, writing down your documents, whatever it may be, and you start feeling uncomfortable from sitting down all day. You can't tell me that you don't feel that movement, like, you're moving around a lot in your chair. You can't stay still. That's your body's way of telling you that, hey, it's time to get up and it's time to move. Okay, so physical movement throughout the entire day, multiple times a day, not just getting that workout in the gym, but even smaller movement breaks throughout the day right there at work. That's what you need. Occasionally get up, stretch,
walk around, pace in the same spot, just move. You cannot be seated for that long. The fact that you're being squeamish right there on the chair, that's your body's way of telling you, hey, I need to get up, because we're not meant to stay stationary all day just that. We're meant to move around. So yes, although you are getting a good workout in at some point throughout the rest of the day, that can't be the only time that you're doing some type of intentional movement. You also have to be able to move throughout the rest of the day. Me, I set an alarm at the top of every hour. I'm gonna get up, I'm gonna walk around, I'm gonna stretch, because again, I can't physically just be seated all day. So that's gonna take care of your movement portion, because you gotta keep in mind, many of us, whenever you're gonna start working these office jobs or these jobs in general where you're gonna be seated or not moving around throughout the day, because again, it's not always office job. You could be a truck driver, bus driver, even a student, because students sit down for classes for hours on end. Man, you're gonna be pretty prone to putting on that weight, because when it comes to gaining weight, it's calories in versus calories out. And the amount of calories that are going out when it comes to these type of jobs, it's not real high, because you're seated so long, you're inactive for such a long period of time. You got to find a way to burn those calories elsewhere. Now, what else causes us to gain weight? Eating in excess, all right, an excessive amount of calories. But the thing is, many of you who are working these jobs, that's not necessarily the case. You probably already are eating a well-balanced diet. But the issue comes is that although you're eating low calories, the amount that you're burning is even lower than that. So you could only be eating like what, 1,500 calories per day, but you're still burning a lot less. Because let's be completely honest, typing up documents, taking phone calls, sending out emails, that does not burn a whole lot of calories. So you got to find the way to make up for those calories elsewhere. Now let's step aside a little bit from those little movement breaks you're going to be taking throughout your shift and focus a little bit more towards that 1 hour workout you're going to be putting in. What should that workout consist of? The two big things we're looking at here is going to be some type of resistance training to help you build muscle, and some type of cardiovascular training just for overall lung and heart health. You should try. Again, the big word is try. Do what you can with the time that you have. Not everyone's going to be having time to go hit the gym for an hour, but if you can just get at least 20 minutes in of just walking, okay, that's better than nothing. If you can get at least half an hour in of some type of weighted exercises or some type of resistance exercise, because you don't necessarily need weights. You can go ahead and do some push-ups, some pull-ups, body weight squats. You just need something with resistance to help you build muscle. The more that we're sitting around all day, we're not really using our muscles. And if you don't use it, you lose it. Muscle atrophy can take its place over the course of years of you working that same desk job day in and day out. So we're going to try to slow down the atrophy process, atrophy meaning breaking down muscle, the muscle's getting smaller. That's what we don't want. So do something for weights. Nothing too crazy. Just make sure you pick a weight that's challenging. Good hour, hour and a half at most. Because again, we all got other responsibilities. We can't just be spending all the time in the gym. We got to make sure we make it to work on time. Basic movements. Hit your squats, your deadlifts, your pressing, your rowing. Just basic movements. Good, decent amount of reps and sets. Hitting good amounts of volume with decently heavy weight. That's going to help us preserve our muscle mass. That's going to help us build more muscle mass in the long term. Okay, you should never neglect your resistance training. Try to make an effort to get that in outside of your work shift. Now, that's just for the muscle building portion. And again, as much as that's important, it helps us with activities of daily living, shoulder press mimics lifting something up over our head. Squatting helps us mimic, sitting down on a chair, things like that. We also got to prioritize the cardio. Don't think of cardio as a way to lose weight, because you can easily lose weight lifting weights. When it comes to losing weight, it's all about burning calories. You burn calories lifting weights as well. I want you to think of cardio as a way to improve your overall health, because it's going to improve your lung and your heart function. If you are that limited on time because your shifts are that long, then I would say prioritize the cardio over the resistance training. Go out on a walk, hit the elliptical. Hell, if you don't have a gym membership, okay, walk around the block, go up and down the stairs or wherever it is that you work, walk back and forth, pace back and forth at your desk. Do something to get the heart rate up. Do something to get your steps in. Steps. Make it a goal, 10,000 steps per day. I know many of you got that Apple Watch, make it a goal. Close those circles each day. Do something. Even if it's very minimal, that is still something is better than nothing. 5 minutes of walking per day is better than no amount of time dedicated to walking. At least those 5 minutes is 5 extra minutes of calories you're burning instead of 5 extra minutes of you sitting around doing nothing. Well, not nothing, you're working, but 5 minutes of you just being seated at a desk. So again, those are the two big things you should be looking at when it comes to your workout or your physical activity outside of the gym. Intentional movement through resistance training and cardiovascular work. Now, we keep talking about calories. That could be another reason why you're gaining weight. If you have a job where you're not moving around so much, this is something that you have to do. You have to make sure you're on top of your diet. We already established you're not burning very many calories as it is by nature of the occupation you're in. But what you can do is monitor the amount of calories that you're putting into your body. Now, if you're eating a high calorie diet because you're purposely trying to gain weight, that's good. But you also have to be mindful about the kind of calories. What are the food sources that you're feeding yourself? Obviously, if you're going out, eating a bunch of fast food, takeout, that's obviously not going to be good for your health. What you can do though, if you have absolutely no choice, let's just say you're on a time crunch, you don't have time to meal prep, you have to resort to getting some type of takeout, carry out order, whatever. What you can do at least is to choose healthier spots, healthier fast food options. Now, what exactly are those healthier options? It's not necessarily that it's healthier, but it's better than some of the other options. We're pretty much just thinking of it as what is the best of the worst. Which one's bad? Which one's worse? Right now, we're about to pass by a few spots. You tell me if they're considered healthy or not. So let's look at it this way. Right there in the back, we're gonna go ahead. We're gonna pass by a McDonald's. Okay? And then shortly after that, right here, we got a Pollo Loco. Now, of those two, obviously McDonald's is gonna be more of the unhealthy. Pollo Loco, there can be some healthier options, but it's a matter of you picking the right thing on the menu. Now, we drive a little bit more forward. We're gonna pass by a KFC. You tell me what those food options would consist of. And then last one down this way, we got a Taco Bell. So that's just some of the local fast food restaurants that are right around right here. Obviously, there's plenty more depending on where you work, where you live, things like that. But regardless, if you have to resort to ordering food from a fast food restaurant, you have to go by drive-through. Okay, try to pick somewhat of healthier options. Pollo Loco, of those four, most likely is the healthiest one. You can get a bowl, load up on the vegetables, compared to, KFC. What vegetables do they have there? What fruits? What healthier options? Everything's fried there. Hence, Kentucky Fried Chicken. The name itself should already indicate that's probably not good for you. But it would be better. It would be ideal if you can go ahead and bring your own lunch to work. How about you take a little bit of extra time to meal prep at home so that way when you go to work, you have your own food. For example, here I am meal prepping. So that way, if I have my meals ready to go, I wouldn't have to resort to going out during my lunch break or after work instead of coming home and saying, oh man, I didn't cook. I don't have any food. I have to stop by the drive-thru again. No. At least this way, I know exactly what I'm putting in my body. I know this is 16 ounces worth of steak, and I know I can divide it up amongst 2 meals. So I have 2 meals, 8 ounces each of meat. That's my protein source. And then after that, I'm gonna make a baked potato with each one and go ahead and eat some spinach as my choice of vegetable. That's the point I'm trying to get at to you. If you're working any other stationary job, and you have to monitor your health, you're already prone to put on some weight, the last thing you want to do is accelerate that process by going out through a drive-through and picking up greasy fried food, when instead you could have the choice of meal prepping your own and making the macros exactly what it is that you need based off of your goals. Now, again, I cannot reiterate this enough. If absolutely necessary, you don't have the time to actually meal prep and you have to go through a drive-through, okay, at least try to make somewhat of an effort to make sure that those places that you are going to are at least a little bit healthier. What are some of the healthier spots that I can think of off the top of my head? Chipotle, because that's essentially meat, rice, and then you have your choice of greens and vegetables to go with it. That's not a bad spot by any means. Another spot I could think of are those sandwich places such as Jersey Mike's, Subway, things like that, because you can get a higher volume of food through vegetables to fill you up, but it's very minimal in calories. And along with that, you still got some good, decent carbs from the bread itself, and you got a good, decent amount of protein from whatever meat you decide to put on there. Now, is the quality of the meat and the quality of the food that good overall? Probably not, but again, it's better than, let's just say, you go to KFC, where you got some fried spots, Chick-fil-A, more fried food. Just be real conscious about the food choices that it is that you're making when it comes to working these type of seated occupations. There you have it, everyone. Just a couple things that you have to make sure that you're staying on top of if you're gonna be the type of person that works any type of office job, desk job, or anything that you're gonna be doing where you're gonna be seated for such a long time and you're gonna be minimizing the amount of physical activities that you're getting throughout the day. Number one, get some type of intentional movement outside of work, whether that be hitting the gym, going on a walk, whatever it may be. I'd say at least an hour of just burning calories, because you already know once you're at work, you're not gonna be taking that many breaks. You're not gonna be moving around as much. You gotta find some type of way to burn those calories outside of it. During your shifts, okay, get some movement breaks in. Stand up, stretch, walk around, go up and down the stairs. 5-minute breaks here and there over time throughout the course of the day. Those little breaks, those little movements, those little steps, they're all going to be adding up by the end of the day. As far as nutrition goes, try to meal prep, try to stay on top of your diet. You already know you're not going to be moving around as much, so now you got to make sure you double down on your diet to make sure you're not eating in excess. That's just going to accelerate your weight gain process. You're going to be putting on a bunch of extra fat. No one wants that. Take the time, meal prep at home. You have absolutely no time and you have no choice but to go through the drive-thru. Okay, at least try to make an effort to choose somewhat of healthier spots. But at the end of the day, you have to be very mindful about the decisions that you're making. If you're working these type of occupations, very little movement throughout the day, okay, you got to make it up somewhere. The last thing you want is for your health to go down over time. The amount of weight gain you'll get from being stationary all day, it's going to be going up. The risk of any other health diseases from the amount of weight that you're going to be gaining over time, it's going to be going up. But all of that can be avoided if you're being mindful about the decisions you're making outside of work in terms of the amount of physical activity you're getting and the calories that you're putting in your body and then eventually burning elsewise. So comment down below if you work these type of occupations, you work these type of jobs, and you have little tips and tricks here and there that you can be doing to help improve and stay on top of your health in the long term. Comment down below. Let's try to help each other out. Also, be sure to comment down below any other video suggestions you'd like to see me do, whether it be about mindset, motivation, nutrition, diets, workouts, programs, whatever it is, comment down below. I'd be more than happy to help y'all out. Be sure to subscribe to my channel so you don't miss out on any new videos, because remember, new videos on this channel every Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday, so don't miss out. And Instagram and TikTok, same thing. Be sure to follow me on both accounts. I put all my links down in the description below. With that being said, I'll catch y'all next time.